No. Possibly on my own here. Okay, we have a bunch of things to try to do for about 3 days and live streams now. So I have to talk to this guy. Oh, that's it. I talked to this guy and send Kim off to take the body back, thus minimising the time that Kim around. Save this up. And have a look at empathy, some composure. Good. Our authority is balanced out at the moment. We've got all these points to spend, so definitely need to up empathy. Going to take the half-light. Being conceptualization.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking out the drag from his cigarette. Speaking of which...
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
I found a key stone. Was it yours?
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me.
As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for. Yes, honestly, I'm trying not to screw anything up. I'm not going to make things right, I'm just going to make them spectacular. What I was aiming for.
Beautiful.
And nearby, a street lamp cast shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Nods towards door 28. By the way, I'm really digging the view here. Point to the skyline.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinaise is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Lieutenant whispers to you, shaking his head. Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
Is it Friday night tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather. Even the rain feels nice.
He leans over the railing and sticks out his hand to feel the rain. Very well, I'll talk to him. First, I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Run where? I just found you again. Go if you must. I don't care. I care about people. Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Yes, sidely towards distant motor. Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words. It's laughter.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Like you brushing his hand through the hair.
Take care, alright?
As with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
There's something so different about him, I can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned?
His shirt.
Lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter.
His shirt.
He's trying to dive deep into the mysteries of his
His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
What is so fucking funny, Kim?
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
That was the apartment door before. Kim? What's going on here? Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. A kimono. Savarian conical hat. Hello. This is a very weird segment. Let's have a quick look at our outfit. Let's add that. It's better than my shirt. Ah, no. That's overwear.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Man in business casual removes his cufflinks.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Monsieur Laclé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Okay.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the fine.
Oh, Christ. Thank you. This is what happens when my producer isn't here. So some stuff happened behind the scenes. Oh well. You should ask me about the fine things. Before we go on, I absolutely have to inquire about this wonderful canopy. Before we get to that, tell me where you got this beautiful silk robe from. From a Samoan hat. We'll get to that right after you tell me the story behind this. Behind the black Samoan hat. We ask him about. Ah, Ziggy is not my producer. Ziggy doesn't live here. Although I've got a lovely kitten picture to show you. New cat on the street. It's just out of kittenhood. It's very, very cute. Send it to you. Okay, let's ask about the canopy.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the
The
balcony.
lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Man gives a solemn nod. Then to the lieutenant, this is just the break we've been. You did it, Mr. Miller? Ruin? Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinaise.
pause to look at the right wording.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge? Like 200 kilograms huge? Did any of them look like drummers? What happens next? Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thank you for your
Of
time.
course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
What's an official like you doing in Martinaise?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled.
He raises an index finger.
The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment? You're some kind of bureaucrat? What is the international... Is this international community? What is the price stability of business? Let's talk about something else. Okay, but what you're doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes. As I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
He glances at his watch.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment.
Huh?
Which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Like 2% of...
But not too far below. No. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You are not answering my questions at
The
all.
coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure. Give me a leaf.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Mind babies. Turn to Kim. So when I said I was the luckiest capital, what I should have said is I'm a moral intern bitch. Ooh, turn to Kim. So we're actually working for the moral intern. That doesn't seem so bad. Definitely one.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Are you a moralist? He said he was.
But of course,
But why?
because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Lieutenant, are you a moralist?
Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Ravachol.
A very moralist answer.
The man nods.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Martinaise doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinaise? No. Martinaise is something else.
What about the rest of Ravachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Ravachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Gives you an approving nod. I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action. Moralism is the idea of foreign occupiers. Ravachol must be governed by Ravacholians. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital. It's like every time I talk to people I'm choosing option D. None of the above. Is that moralism? Well, it is. But I'm going to go full commie on this guy. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as the working class is under the boot heel of capital.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent the views of the RCM.
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work.
Didn't work because the coalition crushed it violently. Just haven't tried real communism yet, and you're telling me this world here is working out well? Yes.
Oh, yes. The big bad coalition crushed the revolution. Tell me, if the revolution was succeeding, would it have been crushed so easily? Are we really so bad for wanting compromise, peace, and prosperity on reasonable, achievable terms? Ask yourself that. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur-la-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clef is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Ravachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Ravachol Sur-la-Clef's darling?
Because a great percentage of Ravachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clef. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clef's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Enough business, let's talk about something
Whatever
else.
you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about.
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay. But like, what does it stand for?
Why? It stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
What do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying,
A
do you?
supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way. You're describing how the coalition occupied Revachol.
One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
What do you mean?
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one, but now that I start thinking of it, it was for an improv class anyway. It's this funny theater thing, you know? Very creative. Helps relieve stress.
It's his fingers.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motorbus. It's neither funny nor creative.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Fine, but what's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
So all you can tell me about him is he's here to study the art.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? Dark outside.
Listen.
He's raising his hand.
Baby is crying in the neighboring apartment. Waves crashing in the distance. The sound of sea below the window.
I can hear the waves.
The Insulindian Bay.
I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
What are you doing in his apartment?
I'm just
by yourself?
enjoying the view.
Isn't it rude for your friend to leave you alone
We're
like
old
this?
friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
Something
I'm
else in
all
mind.
ears, officer.
Thanks, I've got all I
A
need.
moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. and I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around this apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions. Was there anything else? The coalition, the economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires well, you could say I'm undoing some of the material. Whatever you wish, officer. The coalition is the economy impacts the whatever you wish, my friend, my friend. What about him? How did any of us become friends? Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too. Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. Officer, he's deeply enmeshed.
As though you weren't envious.
He's a truly free spirit. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. I'm sure you'll see him around. I'm just enjoying... Listen.
The baby waves crashing.
No. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution.
I knew I missed something.
Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. Asking about your
My friend comes and goes.
A busy bee. What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. Of course.
That's it. Don't think we can get anything else.
This door is made of metal and appears no one on.
Let's go. There's no...
Okay. Moving on. It's the time.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Let's try this again.
Because you see it, finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows.
Consider the wall while I get a tea. conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, colour peeled from the very face of God.
More.
Oh, wall father.
Kim, I must paint this wall, add even more beauty to it.
Huh?
He sounds tired of it all. You already have the heavy fuel oil to use as paint. It's red. And Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on.
First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this raw nourishment from beauty.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Lieutenant looks up at the wall reluctantly and back at you. I already have the paint, I just need to get a paintbrush from the skull.
If you must.
He sighs. I have a new task. Paint the wall.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Cindy, I'm going to need your
What
paintbrush.
for?
For art. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art, but what kind of art are we talking about?
To be honest, I haven't really thought of anything yet, but I'm sure I will. Everything is sad and shit, we need an art to make it okay. Just give me the brush. Grand art. Art deluxe, the artsiest art, the most groundbreaking act. Everything is sad and shit, we need art to make it okay. Just give me the brush.
Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience.
You'll see. You will all see and tremble.
Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything really.
She quickly adds. We'll come back to that then. For we have a body to deliver. It is nearly midnight.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Because you have. Oh yes, Kobo Milobo, in the gift horses, it's all right. Oh yes, just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo, a small gulp away.
Enough.
Come back later,
Time for you to
Kobo.
go.
Amuse yourself with my frank
back in Kim,
manners
take
and my
him away.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Bag the corpse and drag it to the motor carriage. Well, that's us. Time. Go to sleep. Oh!
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not. The reeds bend forlornly toward the water. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. There's some tear, an empty cigarette, 2 empty bottles. No, there's more in. Nothing has changed.
That's the Phil building. Oh, it's up behind the church, right? You think it'd be here somewhere? Ah, here it is.
It takes you a moment, but finally you spot the last of them. The reeds shake sadly in the coastal. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold, for this time of year. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locust. No phasmid either. But still, nothing. No traces of the locust or the Insulindian phasmid. The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground. The reeds continue to hiss around you as you put the empty trap back on the ground. Time.
Okay. You see them tonight? Oh, I've gone to bed, likely. Oh.
The old woman's, the buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of the ocean waves at night. There's a gap where the name of that song should be. You should ask her about it right now.
We're still up?
Yes, I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older.
She slosses the water in the bucket around for a
My
bit.
suggestion is, don't. Don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough.
She's...
What's troubling your mind?
What's the song you're
A
humming?
lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song.
What's it called?
Surrender to the night.
Fly is slowly racking back and forth.
That's kind of grim for a children's song, even if it is a lullaby.
Sounds nice.
Yes, it does. A lullaby, like I said, is an old children's song. You don't
know.
have to like it.
It's getting cold this late in the night.
Oh. Once again, let's have a review. Got 3 points to spend.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
So
You see your
electro
reflection in it.
chemistry.
The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Rhetoric. What's polo anyway? Empathy. No, really, what the hell is polo?
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it.
Finally.
The expression fixed to your clean
Go
shaven
get my
face.
tea.
You're still not accustomed to it.
Right, let's do this. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Okay. I'll leave it for a minute. Got ourselves all kitted up as well. $100. 20 seconds. And try again. It's physique. There we go, it's the highest it can be.
It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long.
Excellent.
Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you.
And with that, let's get some sleep.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Okay, let's go to sleep.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
Spinning in eternity. Spinning on it. Oh yeah, am I dreaming? Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Colours, the voices. Rain, the snow. Don't want it, it's beautiful. Endless visions. Praise them. Rain? No, I don't want it. Beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes.
What would you know about an ancient reptilian?
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
What, brother man?
For the working class.
Yeah.
For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Hello, Paulina. Building communism for all. This time we won't fail. We're making progress. Measured, steady progress. Get pausing. I'm building communism for all. My guy is way. Pursue the thoughts. There he goes again. The real political animal, Harry. He still doesn't see it's the world that's changing him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
That's Disco. Seem to have some new people in, so
Do
welcome.
it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Time to open my eyes. We are on day 4, I think. Thursday.
Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work.
What's going on?
Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to
Hello.
undertake alone.
Welcome
You're
back.
going to have to get organized.
Have you seen my shit recently? I've really gotten it together. I thought the shack was nice and cozy as is. Judging from the state of my ledger, I don't think it's possible. I'm ready, let's get to it. We're building communism. I've got rid of the expression. Have you seen my shit recently? I've really gotten it together.
It's good that your personal business is in order, but we're talking about political matters of world historical import here. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism.
At least we have realistic objectives. Yeah, he just looks sad now.
But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people.
I don't know if I want to go searching for more people, but I'm part of the coalition authorities. Have I been persecuting communists this whole time? Will they help me fire up Mazov's socialist sausage grinder? How am I supposed to find them if they're hiding? So let's go from the top. I don't know if I want to go searching for more.
They're not mole people. They're your comrades in the eternal class struggle. It's your task to find and join them.
I'm part of the coalition authorities. Have I been persecuting communists this whole time?
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives. Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion?
Maybe.
Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
Will they help me fire up Mazot's socialist sausage grinder?
Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff. It's a bit off-putting, even to fellow communists.
I thought they really loved that stuff. How am I supposed to find the Mitaf ID?
Let your nose guide you, detective.
My nose? Must be my nose, as in my huge and highly functioning brain. Oh, what shall we say? My nose?
Yes, fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
What does communism smell like? Okay, I'm ready, let's get organised. This sounds unfathomably stupid. I want no part of it. I have to know. What does communism smell like?
Failure.
There's so much failure in my life already, I don't know if I can take any more. Okay, but what does failure smell like? Okay, but what does failure smell like?
It's a smell you know all too well. Simultaneously repulsive and yet darkly appealing. Musty with a sharp tang, but also a remnant of lost sweetness. Like a rotting mango that's been swaddled in a coat from your grandfather's attic. What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinaise, but you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them. Incidentally, during the waning days of the anti-centennial revolution, a number of Revacholian communards constructed elaborate hideouts in abandoned root cellars, hollowed out tree trunks, and even residential sewage tanks. This latter phenomenon gave rise to the early anti-communist slogan, "The future's bright when you flush out the white."
Yay. I'm ready, let's get organised.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinaise. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. Judging from the bust of Krasmazov and other revolutionary paraphernalia you discovered, it seems that the Cape Side apartments may be a hotbed of communist activity.
Hang on, what will I do once I establish contact with my fellow communists?
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
Isn't that last part kind of counterproductive?
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
This is a hell of a morning thought to have. Roll up your sleeves. Alright, let's get to it.
Here we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
I've woken up and I am now a revolutionary.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is. A regular, clean-shaven police officer.
Right. Got some other clothes. Do you like my kimono? Should we... Neat, innit? This sleazy, silky bathing robe in vibrant blues features a roaring dragon in its front, ready to take off into the night. A red belt has been provided for fastening. It's culturally insensitive, but only people who are not from Seoul. The real Seoulites probably don't care. Let's drop the clipboard of empathy. Sunrise, Parallabellum. So I set myself way up for electrochemistry to do the last task in the mirror. Lots of dings. Better else than that. There we go, that's pretty good. Live without the visual calculus. Pretty snazzy outfit, huh? Good morning, Kim. Just save after we did all that stuff.
Yes?
Hold still for a second. Try to smell Kim.
The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep. And yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil rags, transmission fluid, and brake pads.
I'm going to be sniffing people.
There's something
I'm going to be sniffing a lot of people.
Something that sets your GABA receptors aflutter.
GABA receptors.
The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of pine needle. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? Tough to say.
Do you need something, detective?
As I suspected. You'll know, Lieutenant. You're a mechanic. Just wondering what brand of aftershave you use. Nope, we're good. Okay. Roll for it. Just as I suspected. You'll know, Lieutenant. You're a mechanic.
I do like to hang around the motor pool every now and then, but that doesn't make me a mechanic. Sort of like how hanging around the liquor store hasn't made you into a master distiller.
Ooh. Yet. That was a cheap shot.
My apologies, Detective. I couldn't resist. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
That's it. Yay! Right, so we're on day. Roam the streets to sniff out some comrades. So we've got to get back to the car and run the victim. So I'm a number of the body's been returned. We've talked to the guy on the balcony. Oh, the drunks have moved on. Oh, well, I need to sit on the bench at some point when Kim's not around, which I forgot to do last time. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Ignore that. And we need to return to town and try one more trap while we're here on the way back.
You've checked all the traps now. There's
Ooh, there's a thing I can do while I'm down here. It might actually work this time.
The shine on.
stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them.
Shut up about network. Got by conceptualization. Gear on. Yep, that's everything.
The shine on these sunglasses.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid
We
for
can
them.
work. Oh, yeah, I'll
with
go and put a
net
cup of tea
worth.
on,
Go
and
over
we will do
and
a
ask him.
meditation when we get back. Your mind really likes net with there. What? I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Net worth, yeah. This it's really irritating because it just doesn't occur again. It's like I get that it's a joke, but it could be dropped after a while. Oh, all of our typing is bad. Right, let's meditate this one, motherfuckers. So I need intelligence knocked up a notch. And today we do karaoke. Here we go. Ah, I see. A pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says, Sub is Ulindic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
The first time the street vendor's voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses. Try them on.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Okay.
Wow, officer. You look so cool.
The street vendor has picked up his pace again as you observe the world through deep sea tinted
And
lenses.
they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
I'll take these cool deep blue glasses. Anything that gives me a bit of Inland Empire is welcome.
A man who knows his style.
These are all... Those UV stickers are almost...
These are all first...
I think I've now got everything I can get. Oh, yes, I still need to get the sneakers.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The speakers below. You should go over and ask him about paying for those sneakers with your net worth.
Yeah. I don't have 50 real. And... so yeah, I've not been selling the postcards. Seems like a bad thing to do. Right, let's get back to our gear. If you like. Oh, this is all disorganized now. Oh, I have a boombox. Yeah. I certainly have a boombox.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
You do look kind of awesome, don't you? Press play on tape.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Press your ear against the speaker.
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Sessongs, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this. No, I couldn't. It's too sad. I might cry and trash the room again. Scratch that. I'm already crying, and I look dumb and old. Vote. No, don't tell me, because I'll probably fail myself. I'll find out soon enough. Can I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times. Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
What?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Okay, let's not wander around. It looks like a coffin. Right, let's get my bag back, just in case. Aha! Trouble. These guys are fucking with his car. I think it's time to authority. We have got some points to spend, actually. I meant to do that earlier. I was going to do one of these. Oh, yeah, I plan to do it at night. I mean, what would be the point?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears the simple yet elegant slogan, "Fuck the world."
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are
I
you?
can tell you who we're not. Cop. We're not snitches, flow bears, or skulls.
Blow bears.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, Cop Man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked. Of course I do. I'm just testing you boys. No, I really don't. D. Righto. Of course I do. Let's try and style it out. I'm just testing you boys.
The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Martinaise.
His voice rings with excitement.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? You guys know Cindy the Skull? What's with the jackets? What's with the jackets? I think that's a good question to ask.
What about them?
Turn to the blonde youth. Why does your jacket have piss written on it? Turn to the dark haired youth. Why do you have fuck the world written on your jacket? Yeah, just go from the top.
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
Okay.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What? Makes sense.
I mean by this is we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Okay.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Fair enough. And why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
Blow it up. That is a terrible metaphor. That is a terrible metaphor.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim. Oh, you boy.
Yes?
You think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Clearly, Lieutenant looks confused. Which one would you wear? You know what I'm implying. We should get these jackets. I'd like to know too.
I'm not sure I understand you, Detective.
Are you more of a piss or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think piss is the stronger of the 2 statements.
No way, if anything, I'm the piss in this scenario. That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy. These conversations are what make this game, really. Not the grim dark ones. It's just the pure insanity. That works. I feel like a more like a fuck the world kind of guy, especially since I don't have to bleep myself out every time I say it.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? Point to the yard.
Murder?
Man was hanged in the back of the whirling in rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
Okay. Sounded like a bug there. I know that you don't know shit. I'm not going to entertain you with this any longer. Alright, free choice. I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
Could be the case, yes. A brilliant work of art. It's not. A man is dead, and we need answers.
So what do you think we know?
You guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Young man's eyes glaze over, his voice filled with longing.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. Odd, there isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation.
Mm.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Ooh. I see you kids are into anodic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
He exclaims and stops himself processing the rest of the question.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
A threat? Good. I like those. Don't fuck with me, boys. I'm one of the bad cops. I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict all of a sudden. It's too much. Nervously shake your head. I just want to talk about music, and now there's conflict all of a sudden. It's too much.
That's right. You should back off and let silence rule supreme.
The young man says, looking unsure of himself.
What is wrong with you? Now you're just empowering these punks.
This is ridiculous. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls?
Yeah. The skull symbolizes the embrace of death and nothingness, present in all of us. The vehicle of our future operations. Death and nothingness.
They're called Skulls because when you are shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs want to eat.
Just trust me and follow my lead.
So, boys, want to feed the dogs?
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable. The other one shuffles uncomfortably, nevertheless continuing to steal glances at the lieutenant's motor carriage.
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinaise?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinaise, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think the organization will accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his friend.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
The blonde agrees and provocatively spits on the pavement. Enough about this scullery then. Right. This is a red trek, it cannot be retried. Let's come back to that. Well, talking to you has definitely been something. Now. Half-light. We have some stuff for that. I think we might have all the stuff that we have for that on. Oh, no. Yeah. I can see why your ordering system is probably superior to mine. Got anything that's reducing half-light? So with that, we get a. Do we want to try this check? We'll.
That ride is fucking light.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
I'm not sure if we'll. Yeah. Let's meditate and save in case it goes really wrong. Let's save then meditate in case it goes really, really wrong.
That ride is fucking lightning.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
Right. So, physique up by 1. That's as good as it's going to get.
No, no, no. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
Wait, ow.
Suggest they're massive skulls. Come on.
Boys, with those jackets, you're going to be the Skull Kings in no time.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term. Probably in the lower end.
Not even prospects and if they're already aspiring to be kings.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
He presses through his clenched teeth. There's panic in his eyes.
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Yes, we want to be a cool Killer Skulls too, like you guys, but we don't have skull jackets. Well, not everything, but he definitely has a sense of humour and a good perspective on what we should be doing. Yes, we want to be Killer Skulls too, like you guys, but we don't have skull jackets.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
Not much is left of the nihilistic rebel at this point. Young man before you were scared out of his mind. What do you want? The jackets?
You got it. No need for cruelty.
Skull King, make it sunken heads out of us. You offer us your jackets like that? It'd be impolite to refuse. Lower your voice. Yes, the jackets. So 2 or 3, which one are we going with? You offer us your jackets like that? It would be impolite to refuse.
Oh, man. Okay. I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
Fuck.
Oh, we ruined the kids' days. Oh, look at their little stripy t-shirt.
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
Poor guys. We're nasty people. We are bad people. Turn to Kim. Since you said you're more of a kind of guy, I'll take the other one.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you.
Why not? They're a pair. We could really raise hell, go undercover, hard. But don't you want to express your individuality? Ah, I quite like to see Kim express Kim's individuality.
I already am expressing my individuality.
It's a good reply, Kim.
I'm not. I don't have a jacket anymore.
Good. I wanted you not to express yours.
Kim.
Cold-hearted cop.
Well, whatever, I'll take both of them then. Still, it's good to know we have a pair in case the need arises.
The need will not arise.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with piss written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to urine. And fuck the world all on its own is, frankly, generic.
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
The dark-haired young man just stands there defeated. Wind blows.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
What an interaction. Right. The day's barely started. Oh, before we do that, let's have a look at our jackets. Yeah, they should never have done that. Also, let's change out of the dumb cop gear. The dumb authority gear. Stuff that's we can increase our inland empire. There. Where's my work kit? I'm wearing it. That's good bonuses.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
That's it. I'm done with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Close the door. Anything new from this guy?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
That's all for now. Bye. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna save this because I.
Now it's turning... What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of drivers. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
friend.
I'm still doing the racist dude first, but I need my half-light up, and we'll be doing pretty well with half-light. So let's see if we can start the day with pissing off the racists. I think that suits me well. So, yep, got my half-light gloves on. There wasn't anything else, was there? Oh, right. Now I have an extra half-light. While we're here, we have 3, so let's boost that.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm dangerous.
You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Right. Save up. That's it. Half-life +2.
Looking for something, Ront? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Okay, let's give it a go. Meditate. Z-cup. Let's do it.
Failing the last time was so demoralizing and puzzling that you just can't work up the rage anymore.
Right, the thing is, I don't know what else I can do at this point. I'm gonna load that back, because I think that's locked it out. Is there anything else I can do? I just need something else that raises half-life. And back to more sensible stuffs. Yep. And while we're here, what thoughts? We use. I think we should probably get on that one pretty quick.
Wait, no. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
What do you mean? They aren't Everart's guys?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you, do they? No, they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
Meanwhile, Fat Angus keeps shooting you furtive glances and mumbling on himself.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardy himself stares at you with a cold contempt. that makes you want to leave the cafeteria straight away. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Right. This is dude.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
There he is getting smoke on the balcony right here in the Whirling Rags. Hi.
Hi. So what brings you here? Bye-bye, gendarme.
Let's come back to him.
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
Goes towards Lena.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am. It was a truly epic long-distance trek. Was just on my way while I was working the case. I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. Yeah, free juice. I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now.
I knew it.
Here comes quite fun.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude.
Oh, nice.
It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You ever told me you've seen the phasmid?
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Probably with a sigh.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour. How some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, getting a wild smile on his face. You're on a date?
Our first, yes.
The woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Its limbs are white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
What if it is the case?
Maybe you imagined it, Lena?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
He lowers a lower voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
That's all for now, man.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
Says with a friendly nod.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
And one of them was empty.
Completely empty?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
He rubs his chin.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
Detective whispers to himself.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter this phasmid. It's not very scientific to reason backwards from a conclusion you want to be true. I don't know, I'm not persuaded. What shall we do? Dash their dreams? encourage them? Express doubt? Hmm. We're playing along. Exactly what it is. What a deft hunter this Phasma.
Of course. Be sarcastic. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands, okay? Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently. Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity?
No, I didn't mean to insult morale. That was an accident. Interfacing too high. Well, we can make that easier.
Hello. Lena and I were just discussing the design of the new trap.
Matrix.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno may have stolen the locust.
A little hooligan? But what would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
He hasn't been particularly forthcoming before. He may well still be hiding something. After he's left, it's too late.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morel, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath, and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologise, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
I'll get going. Let's talk to this dude, because we kind of failed to do that. So.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
This man respects authority too much to see you for what you are. Pretend thou art a sober man.
I am neither of those things, I can assure you. I'm by the books, clean as a whistle, teetotaling officer. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicant. Drunks and degenerates, that's my crew. Sadly, I think I might be a drunk or a degenerate, maybe even both. Nobody's perfect. Have you never been tempted to drink? Nobody's perfect. Have you never been tempted to drink?
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revacall.
Gaze shifts the floor tiles. Do you know anything about the man hanging behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinaise is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. Is this your mug? Hold up the yellow man mug.
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. It's not something many people go around saying. It seems as if you were calling to it longingly when you cried yellow man. I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes. Oh, please let someone take this fucking mug off our hand.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
Things still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of the lynching? Alright, I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer. Feels like it might go. Yeah. Appeal to his sense of authority.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
For 20 real, I am for 20 real. I am for 100 real. I am for 250 real, the maximum. Now, Gary, I just want information. Not sure that Kim's going to like us finding him. Now, Gary, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinaise.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
Another racist.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of our murder victim, the man who was hanging behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Oh, dude.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, yes. What happened? Okay. Then what happened? Is there any difference? Okay. Then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changed his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Lieutenant remarks drily.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you...
Really?
As his arms out slightly, this time his motion...
There's lots of weird sounds in a bar like this, though. Pinball, glasses clinking. Could be someone playing pinball.
Maybe it was pinball.
What sound?
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots...
Maybe it was pinball.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Okay, we'll need more composure. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. The burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
This seems unlikely. I can buy into that, a flaming rhino. I want to be just like that rhino, running through the night with guns blazing. Let's buy it.
Revacol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago.
He says and then pauses thoughtfully. Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
The lieutenant sighs, without looking up from his notes. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Duragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Yes, I think so. Sorry, as you know, I've been having problems with my memory. Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Yes, lucky racist. Will you grant us 3 wishes, Gary? Are you Gary? Are you a racist? I don't know. I like the previous racist better. He's nothing compared to Measurehead. Alright, 50-50. More than likely. Doubt we're getting any more votes, so. Okay. Yes! Our lucky racist.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
Lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
He flashes an impenetrable smile.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
I think it's probably right. So we need some composure. And I think we can do that. Ooh, lovely. Better than my tie. Right, so composure. And we can probably use we can actually up composure with a point. Well, we need to. Anything removing composure that I'm wearing. No, that's as good as it gets for us. Yeah, so we can do that if we need to, but let's try it first without that.
Very generous of you to help us out. I mean, officers.
Okay, so let's pump our Motrix.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
And buttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see this gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt. So
we're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
I took the hangman's cuirass. I didn't mean to.
God damn it, Gary.
I know.
Shame on you. Give the cuirass to the officer at once.
The woman looks at you, her eyes soft and pleading.
Gary didn't mean to interfere with your investigation, officers. He's just thick-headed and poor as dirt. But he's always helped us, given us a place to stay. And he's followed Morel into God knows what jungles.
He's a loyal friend.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Give me that armor now? Why do you lie to me, Gary? You know who killed the hangman? Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
Looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
Good old Kim.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
Shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
He's a scaredy cat.
The woman looks at Gary, her eyes motherly. Know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
Shakes his head.
This is all he knows.
Give me that armor. Now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Oh, well, that's pretty... Thank you for your cooperation. Even more points, and the cuirass. Vitreous enamel. It looks like a straitjacket. Cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat, and it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. Wow. And yet more points. Really coming along, isn't it?
Always a pleasure to... I mean, officers.
There we go. All done with them. Let's have a look at our task. So we've got that. So basically, the thing we need to do, I think the next big thing I want to get done is the racist. Now, what we probably need to do is boost physical, so I need to go and get a drink. I guess +2 half-light and a boost to fizz will next, we can't increase that any further. So one more try at it. And I will probably wrap up for the evening. have a busy day tomorrow. Oh, yeah, basically, I think we're going to have to end up pushing Tommy anyway, which I just don't want to do. So I'm trying to avoid it.
A colourful display of
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
Right. Okay. That's weird. Can't use it. Oh, there's something odd going on there.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Finally.
Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lorry right fucking now. Lady Driver's lorry, where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
I'm gonna fuck you for the rest of my life. Do you understand that? I'm gonna put you in a cell with a giant kipt. You're gonna be bleeding kiptic, you hear me? I've been to your fucking lorry, I know where it is, I'm gonna burn it down, you hear it? What's your name, fuckhead? I'm going to go on police radio and say this guy told Marjorie to fuck off. Which of these horrible things are we going to select? $50-50. I take a small amount of pleasure in being absolutely awful to this guy, but he kind of deserves it. Oop. I've been to your fucking lorry, I know where it is, I'm going to burn it down, you hear me?
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Right, I'm going.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
I didn't like having to do that. Let's go with a dice. Right, so it's I think I should tell people to fuck off more often. Felt really good.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
Fuck yeah, motherfuckers! It's not really my style. If Windy were here, this would be a no-brainer. It has been, yeah. Although, and on this occasion too, it's not really my style.
Hey, I've got an idea on how to fix your style.
Oof, that hurt.
Maybe you should just go fuck yourself, yeah? Ever thought of that?
Well, that was a bit annoying, but still, it's a penalty I get. But oh, thoughts.
There. Do you smell that?
Smell what?
Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness? That sense that the world is in need of dramatic, even violent reordering?
Close your eyes and take a deep breath.
Can you smell it now? You inhale. The cilia along your olfactory epithelium tingle with excitement as they sift through the swirling morass of industrial odors. First come the smells of the agitated strikebreakers, layers of body oil and sweat, over-buttered meals pulled from bake-light lunch pails, the biting stench of lye soap. And then there's the slowly oxidizing metal gates, the scent of stale grease emanating from every crack.
Everything in order, Detective?
It's kind of a personal errand. Smelling for communists, Kim. I'm working on developing my political consciousness. It's taking in the morning air like a normal detective. $50-50 again. Usual 1 to 3 is 2. Or 6 is 3. I'm smelling for communists, Kim.
You're smelling for... You know what? I'll just leave you to it.
The lieutenant lacks your highly developed political olfactory cortex. The reek of communism is undeniable, and it's coming from that railing right there.
You mean from Mañana?
Yes. Now's your chance to establish contact. But be easy about it. Communists have been known to charge when startled.
Okay, we're gonna get to Mañana in a bit. The Mañana, maybe? Oh, I don't know what outfit I need. Oh, and I don't need to be carrying that.
This green found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and 2 steering levers. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them.
By the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This
Really?
has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
I'll get me tool then.
This screen found A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead.
Oh, we can
seen
make that even easier.
better days.
Physical instrument, close. Yeah, this is the annoying bit, isn't it? I think we might already be wearing everything that gives me physical instrument. I thought I had more stuff than that helped. But no, that looks to be it. Oh. Yeah, no, they're both fine.
This screen found A to Z,
Let's just meditate.
contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the
Suddenly
ruins
it's all
looming
about smashing
overhead.
stuff.
It's seen better days.
And I think I will definitely wrap up after having a look at this.
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar, a glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
Smash it. Say fuck the police, then smash it. Say welcome to Revachol window and smash it. I'm sorry, smash it apologetically. I am a sorry cop, aren't I? Play the part. I'm sorry.
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
Sticks his hand in the window like a common car thief and then
The
opens
smell
it.
of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
What's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade No. 5.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River. Not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is
The ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat and the oddly bulging seat cover.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Well, we found our smooth booted person then.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued some piece of sandpaper to the throttles with some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Sandpaper would also rub off the pattern on the driver's right boot sole.
Yes.
He likes where this is going. Well, the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lenses. Wait, the missing 8th Hardy. Here. And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. First the drug smuggling, now this. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Yeah, let's go with 2.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Those jerks, definitely. I think the entire union is involved. Maybe all of Martinaise. Look around suspiciously. Not necessarily, the lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions. Be a good cop when we want to be.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
Peel off the cover on the passenger seat.
Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
Lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasures, well worn and fall into neat squares. Pulled open the topmost map.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinaise is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mass of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Where does the road lead?
To Couron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
Hold open the second map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol. The great solution to the riddle of history.
Look at the third map.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
Smugglers have infiltrated the motor tract.
So it would seem.
Yeah, Lieutenant examines the maps with a furrowed brow.
The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where does the contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Besmerti? That sounds vaguely so
The
familiar.
Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Ahora Mazda, it's a dark parody.
Who do you think is behind
It's
this?
definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know is there.
Turn the stack of papers under the seat.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use.
Pull out the pull-out
The metallic
toolbox.
drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Sort trails off. Push in the pull-out toolbox.
The pull-out toolbox slides back.
Oh, I was
into
hoping
its
for a better
place.
pry bar.
The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows.
Close the
door.
door.
Close the rusty old lorry.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Yeah. Oh, something down here to look at. Let's discuss.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile? Could the film industry be involved? Maybe the trader is some sort of...
Yes, well... As elegant as they are. Yes, well...
yeah. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? So it turns out this is connected to...
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
The RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madre grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption.
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over.
Debrief over. After you.
And I think at that point, it is a good time to wrap up. We have achieved a lot. So we shall leave Kim and Harry standing in the rain by the strange monument and return to them soon. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe over the weekend. Let's save it properly. Okay, thanks for watching. Good night, speak soon.